Good morning, all. This is Prashanti, continuing with the video lectures on middleware technology. In the last class, we have discussed the client server architectures and all. Today's class, we'll be discussing about the types of servers. Basically, there are six types of servers: file server, database server, transaction server, group server, object server, and web-based server. We'll be seeing in detail about each and every server. The first one is file server. File server is, it is a computer where data is stored. That is, it is a computer where all the data files are stored, and also they are managed on these file servers, and it is also called as the central storage server. By using this central storage server, multiple systems can access the data which is stored on this server. What kind of data can be stored on the server? That is, the files such as some any kind of documents, images, and other data object files. All these kinds of files can be stored onto this file server, and anyone can access this server, those who have permission. The example of this is NAS, that is network attached storage devices. Network attached storage devices means, now suppose I have planned to put a website. Okay, I want to store lots and lots of data onto that website. So my system is not supported to store, or is not capable of storing that much amount of data. So I'll be contacting with some organizations to store my data there, and I'll be getting a small link out of there where my data is stored, and I'll be putting that link in my website. So the place where I stored my files is called as a file servers, and I can give access to the required users only. So, and also it is very fast to access, and it provides security. That is all about file servers, and this is the general model of the file server. I'll be storing the data on this server. This is the file server, and through internet connection, clients will be able to access the data which is present on the server. The next term is database server. Coming to database server, it has, the client will pass SQL request. You know already what is SQL. The client will pass SQL request, and those SQL requests are processed at these database servers, and from the database servers the result will be sent to the client back. For example, if you take a railway database, I'll be posing a question: what are all the trains from Hyderabad to Warangal? Then the database will give you some answer. Okay, so here DBMS provides this functionality. In order to have a database server, DBMS will provide this functionality, and therefore you can give any question related to the data that is stored on the server. You will be getting the answer. It is same, it is like of DBMS posing a query, and then you will be getting the answers. Our client will pose a query, and the server will give the response. The next one is transaction server. Transaction server is, it is for set of it is for set of SQL statements, that is called as a transaction. That is, if you are going to an ATM, when you go to an ATM, if you want to withdraw money, first you insert a card, then the card will be processed, then you enter the cash withdrawal, then you enter your amount that you want to withdraw, then you enter the PIN number, then you will be entering like this. You have a set of sequence of statements that you will be performing, isn't it? These sequence or set of statements are called as what? Transaction. So in order to maintain such kind of transactions, you will be performing a set of actions there. Such set of actions are managed by whom? Are managed by transaction server. uh, the main or popular example of transaction server is OLTP, that is online transaction processing. When you perform an uh, when you purchase something in online, then you will be paying your money through online, isn't it? Then online transactions will be performed. All those things will be managed by the transaction server. Next one is groupware server. Groupware server means now in this lockdown situation, COVID-19, what is happening? Every software holder or every software job holder, what he is doing work from home, sitting at his own house on his laptop, isn't it? So all the clients who are working under a software, under a software company, will be connected to a server by using his computers through internet or intranet, and then files will be shared among them from the server. This is called as group server. Okay, so the clients will be connected to the server, and then all the data can be shared through this server. For example, then how this is performed is you will be installing some computer softwares depending upon our requirements, and then that is carried on. What data they can exchange between them, between among themselves. It may be a text, it may be an image, may be an email, like that. Now, electronic meetings are also one of the famous examples of groupware server. Zoom meeting, Cisco meeting, GoToMeeting, all this now you are very familiar with these things, isn't it? All these things comes under groupware. Next one is object server. In order to understand about this object server, when you buy something in an online Amazon, suppose you have bought a dress in online, so after selecting and adding that to a cart, in order to pay the amount, what do you do? In order to pay the amount, you will be clicking the payment option. Whenever you click the payment option, then your website will move on to some other website. That is, you will be moving to some other platform called bank platforms. It may be an ICICI platform, it may be an Axis Bank platform, it may be HDFC Bank platform. So first you are working on what? You are working on Amazon software, isn't it? This Amazon software is different and the bank softwares are different. So you are moving from Amazon software object. Amazon software is called, you call everything as an object. Amazon object to which object you are switching? You are switching on to bank object. It may be any bank object. Okay, so compatibility is present between these two. All this is done by whom? All this is done by object request broker. Okay, when you switch from one object to another object, then the data can be transferred between one object to the another object by using what? By using object request broker. So here the one on which you are working at present is called as the client, and the is called as client, and then the server will request and it will be sending a response to you. So these are different ORBs: CORBA, TCOM, SOM, NEO. All these things are various ORBs present. DCOM is of Microsoft, SOM is of IBM, NEO is for Sun Microsystems. And the next one is web server. Web server is the famous example of web server is JNTU Hyderabad website. You have JNTU Hyderabad website. That is what? That is a web server. You have a server at the JNTU. You have a server for JNTU, that is a web server. Okay, whatever you want, you can ask the request for, you can put a request for that, then you will be getting the response out of that. Okay, so here this JNTU, this web server contains one or more web applications. If you take a JNTU website, not only JNTU website, any website is on web server. Okay, if you open a JNTU website, then you will be having more than one applications there. You have a tab called R&D tab, you have a tab called BTech tab, courses tab, faculty tab, all these things, different colleges tabs. All those tabs are what? Different web applications, right? And how you'll be performing, if you want some data from that, or if you want to perform some operations on that, then how do you do that? Using HTTP request and HTTP response. So this is called as a web server. This is all about servers. Thank you.